So where is God in the way today? Where's he kind of in the way? You can't really get to where you want to be going because God's in the way. If you've had that kind of day today, if there are things that haven't worked out the way that you thought that they should, if it just feels like, man, why didn't school go the way that I wanted to, or at work, or this relationship or that relationship, my body's hurting and things aren't healing the way that I want them to, then please realize that you're starting to understand the very places in your life where God wants you to not conclude that he's in the way, but to begin to ask this question: God, what is the way? God, where do you want me to actually begin to see you at work? Maybe in ways for my sake that I couldn't see before. If you remember on Sunday, we talked about John, the Gospel of John, chapter 10, where Jesus says this: I've come to give you life to the fullest, abundant life that is better than any life that you can know in any other way you could possibly pursue it. And here's how that life comes to fruition. The Good Shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. And if you remember, that picture was a picture of a gate, which I happen to have one right here. And, oh, look, there's Cornwallis, also mentioned in Sunday's sermon. Now, if you remember, the picture of the gate was simply this. The Good Shepherd does what I just did. He doesn't just sit down, he actually lies down in the gate, right? He's the one who is the gate. So they didn't have this gate in the ancient world. They had a rock wall that went around in a circle and with one opening, and that opening was the gate. And the shepherd would literally lay down in that space to protect his beloved sheep, or in this case, Cornwallis. Hey, Cornwallis. And what would he protect his sheep from? Well, from the wolves and the bears and the robbers, of course. But he would also protect the sheep from themselves. To put it differently, the shepherd would get in the way of the sheep. It wasn't just so that the enemies couldn't come in and attack. It was also so that the sheep, look at there's Cornwallis using the bathroom on this video. Of course he is. But so that the sheep, or in this case Cornwallis, couldn't get out and find themselves in all sorts of trouble. Right, so that wandering, I couldn't fall off a cliff or find themselves interacting with a wolf or a bear or something like that out there where the shepherd couldn't be. And so when the shepherd says that, or when Jesus says, the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep, he's not just saying, I'm going to get in the way of trouble out there. He's also saying, I'm going to get in the way of, I'm going to get in your way. I'm going to get in your way so that you're not able to just wander and do the things that you think you need to do, which are actually not going to be best for you, or where you're going to miss out on what is best for you, because the shepherd provides for and protects the sheep. Now, what does that look like in our lives? Well, in the very places where it feels like we're most disgruntled because things aren't working our way, instead of us being like, God, why'd you do this to me? Or God, how dare you let this happen? Or how could you be good and fill in the blank? It's right there that God invites us to do the thing that he talked about in John chapter 10. To be still and listen. He said, my sheep know my voice. They hear it and they follow me. Follow me in doing what? Well, what does the good shepherd do? Well, he lays down his life. He lays down his rights. He lays down and there does something that's antithetical to our logic. He produces life out of that act of death. It's what we see on the cross of Jesus, but it's what we see in our lives all the time. When a parent lays down their desires for the sake of a child, that child grows up in a healthy home. When a spouse lays down their life for the sake of another spouse, that marriage sings. When friends serve each other by laying down their time and their rights and their money to care for one another, those friendships are bonded forever. Do you get it? It's those moments when we choose to lay down our lives, our rights, our whatever, for the sake of the other, and in this case, trusting that the good shepherd who's led us down that road is the one who cares for us better than we care for ourselves, and who wants life to the fullest, who's showing us the way to life to the fullest. That's our Jesus, and he invites you this day to lay down. And I want to encourage you to do that, to actually get down on the ground, lay down, to relax a little bit, to take a deep breath, and to begin to listen. What is your good shepherd saying to you about your life right now? What does he want to speak into your life right now? Have you made the time to listen? For this day, Jesus has given you a plethora of opportunities to hear from him. And if you've come to the end of the day frustrated and tired and anxious and overworked and just feeling like this, well, you're in good company. Many of us have. But it doesn't have to end that way. What does Jesus want you to hear, not just about your life, but about his heart for you and for your future? He's not in the way. He is the way. Would you listen to him today? I pray that you will. And I look forward to hearing what he has to say to you. God be with you today.